Hey everybody, today on Android Studio 3.0 we're going to create the entire Facebook profile page. So let's get started. So call this Facebook day one, let's call this profile. Let's see, profile. So next, you will notice new in Android Studio 3.0 we have Kotlin support now. We're not going to use that for this lesson today. Next, and we'll just go with a basic activity and we'll click finish and this, give it a couple of seconds and this will load and we can get started. We're going to use Constraint Layout to make basically kind of mock out, kind of copy or clone the Facebook. Like if you go to Facebook on your Android or iOS device or whatever, we're going to build something kind of like that. So let's get started. You got to wait a couple of seconds here. And then again, the .kt is for Kotlin. In a couple of weeks, I'll make a lot of videos on Kotlin and how you can use it in Android Studio. But for right now, we don't need that, so I'm going to close it. So great, here is our layout. I'm going to do something. I'm going to open up Terminal, and we're going to go to where are we? We're at. Let's go to CD. What do we call it? Facebook. Okay, get add, or now we'll do get status. So what I'm using get to like track my project here. So the video is not going to be really about get. I'll make another video on get in a couple of weeks, but hey, get status, get add, get status, get commit. Then we can do get log, and okay, we're done with that for now. That's just something to get out of the way in case I need to go back. So here's our layout. So you'll notice if you go down to the bottom, if we go to text view, this is our XML layout, and this is using Constraint Layout. So that's what we want to do to copy the Facebook page, or to copy the Facebook profile page, which I probably should have gotten a picture of, but I don't. So I'm using the keyboard shortcut to switch between these two. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just get rid of that, save it, and then if we go back to the design tab, yeah, nothing's here. And we don't need that button, but no, we don't need it. Actually, what we're going to do is let's do this. Let's go to activity and we'll select that and we'll set the visibility to gone. So there we go. Now go back and there it's gone. Okay, we don't really need that for posting, so let's get started. So if I go over to Finder, you'll notice I have a couple of pictures. Now these are low resolution pictures. This is a picture of me, and this is a picture of the Austin Google Cloud Platform meetup that I go to. So I'm going to copy both of those, go into Android Studio, select the drawable folder, and I'm in Android view right now. But we can just do Command V to paste them in there, click OK, OK, and now our pictures are in there. So we can use them. Great, cool. Now let's go to our content, and I'm going to go to XML view. First thing we need to do is we need an image view. So let's do image view. We don't have match parent, so match parent doesn't exist in Constraint Layout. You can't do that. What we're going to do instead is we'll do it just to show you something. We'll do 200 dp. Actually, let's do this. Let's do 200 dp. There we go. And we need a source. So source, we'll name this people. That's perfect. Okay. Now let's go back to the design view. So here's our picture. So one of the things you cannot do is you can't do what I just mentioned, match parent. That will, I'm pretty sure that'll mess things up. What we can do instead, actually let's do this, 200 dp. So let's just do that for now. So there's a picture. So one of the things that's really cool about Constraint Layout is that everything can be in one level. So this is our opening Constraint Layout tag. This is our closing Constraint Layout tag right here. And everything can be inside of it. So a lot of times, like previously, you'd have like a linear layout, then we'd have like another relative layout, then we'd have like another linear layout, then we might have another relative one. And you notice, like as you do this, you have a text view in here. So if you notice, we have a lot of different nesting going on. So there's one tag there, another tag there, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see all these tabs, all those spaces there? That's basically what you want to try to eliminate. You want everything to be directly inside of this top Constraint Layout tag. So like if you have a linear layout tag, and then you have a relative and a linear, Constraint Layout kind of gets rid of the need for all of that. So I just mentioned that we don't have match parent. So how do we do this? Let's do something first. Let's do left to left of parent, right to right of parent, and I'm going to format the code, and now it's centered, but it's not exactly how we want it to be. So what we can do is we can do for the width 0 dp, and you might think that equals, actually that's not, let's do scale type, crop center. There we go. I think this 200 dp. I think that will, yeah, so that's not what we want. What we want for the width is 0 dp. And you might be thinking that, hey, you're setting the width of this image to 0, like that's not going to display it all. But that's not how it works. So if you notice here we have constraint left to left of parent. That basically says the left side of this image, point it to the left of this whole screen there, and the right side of the image, make it align up with all of the right side over there. So 0 dp is what you want for that. Okay, cool. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to make a profile picture on top of that. So let's do this. Let's do, then we'll do 200 dp, 200 dp, and we'll just leave it like that. Source, and we'll call it Daniel. That's not going to work. So Daniel. So now we go back to here and we have Daniel. Now that's not exactly what we want. And let's do this. Let's do this to 100 dp. That's a little bit smaller. I just checked. Let's do, oh, sorry. So I just checked it and, okay, so there we go. Okay, so there's a picture of me. Actually, we need to do the same thing. Let's do scale type, and then we'll do crop center, or center crop. That kind of makes it a square. So it makes, so if you see before how if we had it like, without that, see how it kind of like adds, spacing at the top there and the bottom there. So what the scale type basically does, scale type, center crop, that says make it 100 dp by 100 dp, and if the picture doesn't fill the whole thing, crop some of it. So now there's my picture. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We'll do right to right of parent, parent, left to left of parent, and this should center it. Okay, now let's do margin. Margin top, and we'll do it 100 dp. So now this is what did that do? Oh yeah. So we also need top to top of parent. So there we are. It's actually not. Oh, I know what we need to do. Let's do this 200 dp. Okay. So there we go. Kind of big, but that's. You know, this is the basic. We're just going to do the basics in constraint layout. So here's our layout, and if you notice, normally what you might need is a bunch of linear layout and relative layout containers, like we saw, like I just demoed a couple of minutes ago. But with constraint layout, look, we have constraint layout. It opens there and it closes there, and directly inside of it are two child elements. So the image view there and the image view there. Those are those two images. So. And we can add more stuff. So say we'll text view. We'll do wrap, and we can the text can be Daniel Malone. If I can spell Malone right, Malone. So where is that? Oh, that's at the top here. So yeah, in constraint layout, everything by default goes over to the left. And there's another way to do it. You can also grab these things and like pull it there. And pull it there. I kind of like using the XML just because I'm used to it. But you can also like constrain the text to the bottom of my picture. I think you can do that. Why isn't it working? Oh, we don't have an ID. Probably so. Let's do this. Let's give this an ID. We'll name this photo. I think that's the problem. No, it's not working. Huh. Oh. Why isn't this working? Let's get rid of that. Where'd it go? So now our text is at the top there. Not exactly what we want. So let's do top to bottom of, and we'll do photo. Not parent. We'll do photo. So there we go. So what I basically just said right there is, hey, the text view right there, which is this text view right here, that text view, what I want to do is I want to make the top of it, so the top of that text view, the bottom of this profile picture image. And I did that with, I did that with top to bottom of. So, and to get to that, you can just start typing top to bottom, and it automatically will select it for you. You can just hit enter, and then just start typing photo, and then that will automatically, and it's important to note that we have the ID right here. We have the ID set for photo, and this is my profile photo. So this one right here, this is, we'll do ID, we'll do this banner, yeah, banner. We don't really need to name that because we don't need it. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing Command Save to save it, and then Option Command L to format the code. So like notice if you have a bunch of tabs there, or it's not really formatted right, or there's a bunch of space between there, just do Option Command L. That'll format the code for you pretty much exactly how you want it. I like one space between elements, but that's kind of a personal preference. And then to switch between the two design and text tabs, I'm using Shift Control right arrow key. So let's do some stuff. So I'm gonna select the name there, and I'm gonna do Command B to go into XML view. We'll do text size, we'll do it 24SP. Whenever you do fonts in Android Studio, you always want to use SP. So we could do DP, so we could do that, and it makes it bigger. But if I change it to S, if I change that to S, yeah, so if I change it, so it's really not going to be noticeable. What that is for is like people who have poor vision, or people who just don't have very good eyesight, or they want some of the text bigger. They can go into the settings in Android and say, hey, make all the text size bigger. So it's for people who don't have as good eyesight as some people. So we need a little bit of margin in the top there. So let's do this margin top. We'll do 24 dp. Save that, format it, go back there. Let's do it. Let's do 12. So 12 there, that's my name. And then the last thing we want to do to this Facebook profile page, well, there are many things it's not going to make it really exact, but one of the things we're going to do is we're going to create some icons. So over to the left, let's go over to Android. We're going to right click on Drawable and go to New, and let's go to, I think, Vector Assets. So I'm just going to pick some random images here. These are all really high quality material design images. So I'm just going to pick a couple of random ones. So let's do the add circle. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Are we going to add it to Git? Yes. Yeah, we'll add it to Git. So we had one image. Let's do another one, vector image. Let's select just some other random image. We'll do build. That's cool. Let's do two more. So new vector asset, and these will scale to anything. So these are very. Let's do dashboard there, and let's do one more. Let's do. I'm just gonna pick another random one. That's what's at the bottom. We'll do. How about voice chat? Why not? Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to drag some of these images. I want to drag some of let's do it a different way. Let's just do it in XML. So let's see here. So we have image view. We'll do let's do 32. Actually, let's do this. Let's do 32 dp. 32 dp. Now let's do source. And we'll do the source. We have add circle. So there we go. So if we go here, we should see this circle, and sure enough, there it is. And then again, it's important to note that this image view that I just created with the new icon, with that circle icon, with the one right up there in that top left corner, that's directly inside. That's a direct child of this constraint layout right there. So you notice we don't have a linear layout. And you'll notice that this image view is not inside of it. Inside meaning it's between the opening one and the closing one. The closing one always has that slash there. So you can notice, like in some cases, this XML tag right here, it's a self-closing one. So you notice it has that at the beginning, but look, it has a slash, a forward slash, and and the greater than sign, that means, hey, we don't need a closing one and an opening one. It's just going to be self-contained. And that's a text view. That's okay. We're not really going to put something inside of a text view. Like go back and think of the name there. Are we really going to put something inside of that name? No, we're not going to do that. So it makes sense to do a self-closing one. On the other hand, you'll notice this constraint layout right there. So this is the constraint layout tag, and you'll notice it opens up right there, but you'll notice that it does not have the self-closing tag. That means it's got to be closed somewhere else. So you open it up there, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see, hey, this is our closing constraint layout tag, and we know it because it says constraint layout, but also because it has the slash. It has that symbol there. So that means closing. That means closing, and that means closing. But in this case, this image right here, that's a self-closing tag. So so let's get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that, and it's in the top left. Let's do something. This may not be a good choice. I'm trying to think of how I want to do it. You know what? Let's do this. Let's move this. Let's give. I'm gonna select my name and do Command B, and I'm gonna give this an ID of. We'll give it an ID of name. Or we'll do. What's profile? Oh, name is fine. That's good. So go back to there. Now, okay, so that's cool. So this image, let's put it top to bottom of. Then we'll do name. So this should lower it down a whole lot. So now it's low. So let's do this. Let's do left to, let's do, yeah, left to left, can't type, left to left parent. So there we go. So that's there. So we have, so these 4 images, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm just gonna quickly put them in so we can get rid of that. I don't like that. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Let's see if we can zoom. 100% is good. There we go. Okay, that's better for viewing. Okay, so let's just complete. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extract the resource, and we're going to put it in our dimensions file. So it's a really good practice to do that because, say, well, I'll show you why that's a good. Well, I'll show you why that's a good choice in just a second. But I'm going to copy that, go into my dimensions XML file. You'll find it inside of. So I'm in Android Studio View. I'm in App Resources Values, and you can just find different dimensions there. So let's create a new dimension. Let's do dimension. We'll name this icon. We'll do it small icon size, and we'll paste in 32 there. And here we can just reference, what was it called? Small icon size, small icon size. And this basically says, you know what? This is really going to be 32. This is going to be 32 dp. So if I click on it, I can actually command click and get to and I can change this to, you know, 200 or whatever. So if I go back, you'll notice, hey, that icon's humongous. I'll show you the advantage in just a second. So let's go ahead and make that to 32 dp. That's probably good. That got messed up. What's going on? Why is that messed up? Dimension. Oh, that's messed up. Okay. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's quickly get these other images, and I guess we can't drag them in. I'm going to have to add them manually. I'll go ahead and do this one. We'll call it... Oh, we need to give IDs to these also. So we'll do that in just a second. But left, we don't need that. Let's see. Let's change. So this is build black, build. I'm just going to drag it over there for now, and we'll do the same thing for dashboard. Wait, what did we do there? Let me see. So we did build black. So build black is that one. Okay. Now next we'll do dashboard black. So let's do dashboard. And then the last one will be called. We'll call this voice. and it's complaining because, okay, well, we'll fix that in just a second. So our images are all kind of on the screen. What I want to do, or what I saw Facebook doing, is they have them lined up kind of, they have them lined up, I messed it up. Actually, let me Command Z to do that, but they have them kind of aligned up like that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make all four of them like centered. So I want like a little bit of space there, a little bit of space there, some space there, and some space there. So I want to get all of these on, I want to kind of like link them together. So how do we do that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag over these, and I'm going to shift click to add that one. I'm going to right click on it and do chain, create horizontal chain. And you'll notice all of these instantly have these little icons. You know, you can tell, hey, they're spaced exactly right. Now the first one there, that's messed up a little bit, but we can fix it. So let's see what's going on there. So, but the important thing to note is that the spacing, like the spacing there, the spacing there, the spacing there, and the spacing there should be the same. But I'm going to go into here and I'm going to get rid of some stuff. So these editor tabs, are these editor tags? I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm going to, wait, what, that messed things up. We don't want that. Don't want, and we don't want that. And we don't want that. And just to show you, this is for, that's just for like the editor. So just in this preview editor, that's for showing it up there. We'll fix that. Well, I know it's going to be messed up. It's messed up terribly right now, but we're going to fix that in just a second. So let's do this. So we have our, these are the four images. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are my four images. So let's go ahead and what should we do? This one has, so this has a top to bottom of name. So we'll do, so what we can do is we can do, I think we can do start to start of view 2. Let's see if that works. Nope. We'll do top to bottom of, we'll do, what's the top one? Top to bottom of name. This should work. Yeah, it worked. Okay. So what's happening is these images are going up high, like the image right there and that image right there, because they aren't linked to anything. But that image, for this that image right there, I'm saying, hey, make it below the name. And for this one, I'm also saying, hey, make it below the name. So I just need to copy this over. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it on that and that. So we have it on those two tags. And there we go. They're all lined up perfectly. So I want to add a little bit of spacing, and oh yeah, I know what I was going to show you. So notice how for all of these images, we specified, and I'm pressing Command minus there, we're specified it in a dimensions folder. So if we actually command click on this, it'll take us in there and we can say, hey, we want to make that bigger. Let's make it 60. If we go back to here, we can see, hey, all those icons are 60. So instead of manually going into each place, like doing it there, 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 and there, and saying, hey, changing all of those to like 100 pixels, or 100 dp or 20 dp or whatever, all these right here, they all reference the same dimensions. So let's go back to 32 because I kind of like 32. So this is kind of like, this is like the very basics of the Facebook profile page. In reality, that's much smaller. There's a search button in the box. There's like a search bar at the box. There's an edit. There's an edit field there. It looks a little bit different. But the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to add a little bit of spacing to the top there. So what we could do is we could select that and make margin top, margin top, margin top, and margin top. But I want to do it just in one way. So let's select the name, Command B, and then we'll do margin bottom, and we'll do, well, just to show you, I'll do 32 dp. So 32 dp, and that did not work. So let's do, did I not do it right? Margin end, name. I see there, I'm messing things up. Let's see if I can fix this. So the name, so we want, let's get rid of, did we get rid of the margin top? No, we did. Okay, the margin's still, okay, margin bottom's not working, so let's do padding, let's just try padding bottom. There we go. So that's kind of a cheating way to do it. It works, but it's not perfect. and we'll change this to 12 dp. So there we go. So this is the basics of the Facebook profile page. We're not going to go into detail. In another video tomorrow, probably we'll create probably some recycler view stuff. So we'll use card view with recycler view. We'll create a horizontal recycler view and a relative recycler view. So this we'll build on this tomorrow. So check back for the update to this tomorrow. But yeah, this is all constraint layout. Just to kind of briefly go over stuff, see how we have. So the first thing we did is we created, or it was created for us, was this constraint layout tag. And notice everything inside of here, it's only one level of indentation. So everything is directly inside of the constraint layout. So there's no like relative layouts and linear layouts and stuff. These are all positioned directly inside of the constraint layout. And you'll notice that you're not constrained to just bad keyword, but you're not constrained to just just vertical or just horizontal or just vertical. You can position images anywhere. You can center that. You can make that go wide. You can chain stuff. You can make sure that they're exactly mathematically the same amount apart. So you can do a whole lot with constraint layout. So how exactly did we do this without? How do we do this without relative layout and linear layout? That's by these constraint tags. So this banner image, that right there, we have constraint left to left up and right to right up. That means the left side should be left of the parent, which is the screen, and the right should be the right up the parent, the screen. For the profile image, so then we have this profile image, what we did there. Oh, and it's important to note that we did 0 dp, and that does not mean just don't display it. That just means that constraint layout right here is going to manage that for us. So we said, hey, we want this image to be all the way to the left and all the way to the right. So 0 dp says, okay, I'll make that happen. I'll make it all the way to the left and all the way to the right. So I guess I'm going to go ahead, I'm at 27 minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. But be sure to check back tomorrow. We'll pick up where we left off in this, and we'll do even more stuff with recycler view, and we'll make it look more like the Facebook, more like the Facebook profile page. So check back tomorrow and subscribe. Thanks.